A very warm welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure to have you all here. Today's event, as we know, is hosted by Ashman Foundation. Ashman Foundation is an organization which works for the upliftment of underprivileged. It is currently the NGO working for widow empowerment by assisting single income family widows. Ashman Foundation also creates an impact in lives of women and children and helps us making education a right, a necessarily they have to live. Our speaker for today is Mr. Anirudh Joshi, a proactive and analytical student currently pursuing MBA. Today, he will be talking about the merits and demerits of small businesses, where you can find your answers regarding the small scale businesses and be aware of all the risk possibilities in the small scale business. We would like to invite our speaker for today, Anirudh Joshi.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having me here. So,
Same
so,
here, sir.
so let me know when can I start my speak.
Sure, you can proceed further.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. As they said, my name is Anirudh Joshi. I'm currently pursuing my MBA in finance and data analytics as my major. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ashman Foundation for giving me this platform to talk about small business and their demerits and merits. It's a great pleasure, and I'm sure that this session would be a great and grand success. So, beginning with this session, I would like to first talk about small businesses. What is exactly a small business? Small business is businesses which have revenue, small revenues compared to the big corporate organization and having small amount of employees, nearly about 200 to 500. This is a basic definition for small business. You all must have heard names of like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Ratan Tata for that matter. All these people are business owners. They have own private business, but their business, as you all know, is very huge, melangamous business. But when they started, they started with a small business. They were not having this huge corporate offices. They started small with small fundings, and look at them now, where are they have been reached. So every business, talking specifically about small business, is very lucrative option to look at, but it also has some disadvantages also. So like everybody here must have dreamt or like thinks of having their own business, being their own bosses, having no call time, having a creative liberty to do whatever they feel like doing. All these sounds very interesting, and it's nice to own a small business. But again, any business is like a roller coaster. It is its ups and downs both. You have to deal with the both these situations. Speaking of small businesses very crucial for many reasons because they promote community building. When you go outside in the market on your local streets, in the local market of your city wherever you live, you find these small businesses running their shops. They have been earning their livelihood through small businesses and by local vendors using local resources, which promote community building. It helps in enhancing the society and the local area where they live. Whereas when you go to big corporate malls, you go to a big concrete store and air conditioned places where the materials you buy are mostly internationally imported to India, and it's very high costs and most of the time the revenues generated are not even went to the pockets of Indian people. So that's why small business is very important. Also, the Indian government has been working very tirelessly towards upliftment and developing the small business sector and small industry sector of India. Because going by the statistics and the latest numbers, there are several high points if owning a small business, because firms with they employ like more than 200 to 500 employees, and they generate one fifth of the revenue from the industrial sector in India. Like one fifth of the revenue generated are from the small business sectors. They employ one in fourth earning member of a family. They provide livelihood to hundreds and crores of people, and with good salaries. It does not mean if it is a small business, the salary they provide is less or not good. It's quite good working in small industry, and they bring the 40% of the export. They generate the 40% export of material that we export to other countries, and it is believed that the 75% of innovation that comes in the industrial sector is from the small industry and small business sector. Aren't these numbers impressive and well, cool to look at? Obviously, they are, because small business sectors are blooming and they are doing wonders. And government has initiated and formulated many great policies for uplifting them and providing the finance, banking loans, and providing with them resources, infrastructure, whatnot. It's booming. So, coming to the core topic, which is basically the merits and demerits. Obviously, it has both. Like, come on. The merits of a small business can be listed down are financial. The first merit, financial rewards. Yes, it's proven fact that when a person is having a small business or owner, he's an entrepreneur, they earn way more than a salaried employee. They earn more because they save a lot of money in taxes. The tax laws for the entrepreneurs are different than the salaried employees. They usually don't have uh, to show their tax records like it happens, and they can enjoy their money all by their own, because they are the only person working. They are the at the upfront level. Nobody else is in the between them and the revenue that they generate. Obviously, they have to pay to their employees, but they enjoy a quite hefty amount of profits as compared to someone working in a salary job in corporate sector. Next one is lifestyle independence. What is meant by lifestyle independence is like you're the owner of your own business. You have the full control of your own business. So every decision that you make, every uh, decision that you take is in your own hands. Whom to buy, where to buy from, whom to sell, where to sell, how to sell, do you even want to sell? Every decision is in your own hands. You take it. You are the sole whole owner and the captain of your ship, of your business. So they enjoy a lifestyle freedom because they can do whatever they want. There's no fixed timing of 9 to 5 jobs. Like they can work wherever they want from home if possible, and as there's no restriction, you can work for like whole 24 hours, 48 hours, or just for 1 hour a day if you feel like. That's the best thing about owning a small business per se. Next merit is personal satisfaction and growth. Yes, when a person is employed in a small business, they have a quite great opportunity and forum to grow and have this satisfaction, because as I said earlier, you're the sole owner of your business. So you get to decide what you want to do. You have that liberty, that opportunity to take leaps and take risk in your businesses. Go an extra inch further if you feel like. But in corporate world, you have a lobby, a chain of your management that you cannot go against. But in small business you can. So it helps people to grow and manifest their dreams and take a leap in their business. Next one is flexible and adaptable. Yes, as I said, flexible, adaptable, because it means that a small business or business per se is flexible in nature. That means you can alternate, alter it with your needs and demands of the public and the current scenario. Because for this, I will give an example of COVID. We all are living in a pandemic right now, and there's a huge loss and changes in the economic sector of India. In every sector of India, the business sector have been hit with a great losses also. But there are some sectors which are booming. For example, medical sector. If a person is owning a medical shop, a small medical shop, he has seen a much growth in the business. And the best part is he can increase his sales, decrease his sales whenever he want to. He can hire new employees whenever you feel like, because it's booming. And there's no risk of getting fired because you're your own boss. As we have seen, many people have lost their jobs in COVID because they were working in a corporate sector. They were working for somebody. But when you're having your own small business, you're your own owner. You can Nobody can fire you. So that's the best part, isn't it? Like, you have your full freedom, opportunity, and there's no risk of getting fired. It's flexible, adaptable, because you can adapt to these certain changes. So yeah. Lastly, speaking of merits, the last point on my list is usage of local resources. This is a very important issue and point, because, as I said in the beginning of my speech, small business or businesses, local vendors promote community building. A local vendor will obviously buy its raw material and resources from the local markets only. He will not go and fish them from abroad or a different high skill up markets. They use local resources, local vendors, which it's a give and take. So it increases community building and innovation, and improves the lives of the community, of the local people. As the local resources are being used, people get to uh, earn more, spend more. If they're earning more, they will get a power, spending power, which they will have more disposable economy in their hands, disposable income in their hands, which they will eventually use to buy more stuff, which will generate more revenues, and at the end profits, which will at the end, at the nutshell, will help in increasing and improving and enhancing the local communities. So that is a very big advantage of having a small business. And as they said, like, go local. Like, uh, the government of India has also have this great initiative of going up, like independent India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is why, because they urge people to buy goods whenever possible from local vendors and not from these imported goods from China or wherever, because it helps people to grow, and at the end it helps you grow as well with them. So that's a very big and very nice advantage of having a small business. Now, as I said earlier, it's like a roller coaster. Now we have seen all the upsides and the best sides of us owning a small business. Let's go to some disadvantages and some bad sides of a small business. Yes, there are some disadvantages and demerits of a small business, which is financial risk. It is very simple. When you own a small business, you use your own money. You apply your own capital to invest in the business and to make it run. So you apply your own money. You're the own responsible for what you do with that money, and whether you earn profits or you incur losses. If you are a salaried employee, you will get your salary on time at the end of the month. You don't have to worry about if the company is making profits or losses. Obviously, if it's making high profits, there is a chance that you might get fired, but you will get your salaries in your account at the end of the day. But being a business owner, that's not an option. you apply your own money. So if there's a loss, you incur loss. If there's a profit, you incur your profit, and you don't have to share it with anybody. In the same case, if there's a loss, you're only responsible for your own losses. And many times there's no insurance available for these losses because there is a lack of paperwork, legal benefits, and many times people are not aware of the insurance policies that they can avail for the small businesses. So that's a huge and very, very big disadvantages of owning a small business because finance is a very big part of any business and a daily life because it's money. Next point is stress and health issues. Yes, it's not like that every person have stress and health issues while they are working, but when you own a small business you have to do everything by your own. You're the own producer, you're the own seller, you're the own marketer, you're the own human resource. Every roles and responsibility have to be performed by you, the owner, which is kind of stressful because in corporate world there are different sectors and different people are delegated with these issues, but you are your own. One single person have to perform all these functions. You have to be take care of your employees if you have employed any. Then you have to take care of your suppliers, your buyers, your maintenance of your business, and accountancy. That's a whole loads of work, making finances and everything. Which when and eventually all these tasks doing by yourself will give you stress because it's a stressful job. And due to high level of stress it can result in some health issues because if people take more stress they can get any health issues, right? So it's very tricky job, but at the end you get profits as I said earlier. So it's a win-win and lose-lose position. Next disadvantage is time commitment. As I said, there's no fixed schedule of a 9 to 5 job. You're the owner, you're the employee, you're everything. Because you have to work 24/7. When the employees working in a corporate sector, when they go home, they don't think about their work. They chill with their family, spend time with their friends, and do whatever they feel like. But a business owner is always continuously thinking about his business, even if it is he is staying at home and enjoying time with his family, because business doesn't go away from you. You and your business are one and the same thing, different separate entities, but if they are connected, correlated to each other. So there's a issue of time commitment because many times uh, the small owners, business owners, work tirelessly for hours and hours. Yeah, and there's no holidays also. They work on festivals also many times because having, for example, having a clothing job, clothing store, clothing shop. In festivals like Diwali, Eid, and Christmas, people tend to buy clothes. That's the best time when they earn huge amounts of profits. So they work extra hours on the days of festivals. But when you're a salary employee, you get holidays on these festivals, right? So that's an issue of time commitment. Next one is managerial skills. As I said, in a corporate sector, in a company, there's a different person assigned for marketing. There's a different person appointed for production, for sales, for human resource, for accountancy, for finance. For each and every job, there's a person assigned. For management, there's a manager, there's an assistant manager. But in small business, the owner is everything. He has to perform all the tasks of managing the from business, from finance, from maintaining suppliers, vendors, cost, raw material, cost shares, overheads, everything. So, and many times it is seen that not every business owner is able to perform all these tasks as much because it's quite clear that no person is able to perform every task. No person is expert in every task, in every skill. It requires many skills, as I mentioned. No one person is expert in all these. skills. So they suffer from managerial skills, because of which they are not able to perform their business properly, and sometimes it lends them to incurring some huge losses. And finally, the last point on my list is marketing. Yes, for any business to run smoothly, people should know that you have your own business. There is a business that they can go and buy goods from, and they can avail their services. But small businesses, many times they don't know how to market themselves, how to make sure that people know that they are having a own business. So because they don't have a perfect channel of marketing as a huge businesses, so that's an issue of with small business and small industry sectors. They don't know how to market their business well. They can do most with their own, but huge corporation hire marketing agencies, and they market and cater to huge global customer. But local vendors and small businesses don't have that option and opportunity. So these were the my list of merits and demerits of a small business. At the end, what I would say about owning a small business, I would say definitely it's a very lucrative and a very great uh, career path to go from, but it has its both merits and demerits. So you have to choose wisely and be follow your gut instinct. Do you want to go there? Do you want to follow your passion and open your small business? Obviously, you will get loads of profit if you go there, but there's a chances of loss also. You have to do all the work by yourself. Plus, you get to do all the work by yourself, which means you have liberty and freedom to do whatever you feel like. So that's the dilemma most people faces. So choose wisely if you want, if you're thinking of owning and starting your own small business. So that's my take on this topic. I'm done with my present like speech or whatever you want to call it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I would like to answer them. Somebody is asking me how to overcome risk. See, this is a very tricky question. You cannot you cannot avoid risk. There's no way to avoid risk. Yes, there's some certain ways which where you can like play a plan beforehand and have proper planning, so that when such situation arises, you know what to do and how to go forward. That's the best thing to do. Like making making a perfect plan is the most important key for having a smooth running business. So I would say start with doing a good financial and business planning. That is the first step of starting any business, making a plan. Now, any more questions, please? uh, any more questions? I can't see any questions. How to build trust upon people so that they can follow our ethics? Sakshi, can you help me with questions, because like
Yeah, sure.
they are going fast?
Uh,
Yeah.
one question says that what is the exact plan for building a small business?
Small business exact plan is you have to follow steps. There are certain 3 to 5 to 6 steps in a owning a business, from having ideation of the idea, having the idea of owning a small business, to finally implementing that idea and for becoming the entrepreneur. So there's a huge steps involved. Like first is ideation, then there's the paperwork involved, then getting finance from distributors and financer, then starting up your own business and catering to people in your community, building trust, and then finally at the end of all these works you earn profit if you are successful in doing that. The most important part, as I said, are planning and having a great idea. Finance can be arranged easily. That's not a big issue but the main thing is having a great idea and a foolproof plan. Because if you don't have any plan, nobody will be interested in financing your small business. So the certain steps involved, as I said, go step by step. Have first planning, a plan, and make sure you include risk. Make sure when you plan, the 100% guarantee will suffer from losses in the beginning. So make sure that you include those in your plan. Next question,
Sure.
please.
So, Betha asks that what are the government policies useful for small businesses? Like, what is the take of government on small business?
Small business, like government policies. If you know about the initiative taken by a government that Atmanirbhar Bharat, there are many policies that there's NABARD, there's local, local, and many more. Like I'm not even sure that how many policies they have been created. Like there's so much they are doing, especially in UP and rural areas of India, building small scale industries, providing finance. The best way to get answers to this question is go look on their official websites, because I'm not the right person to answer, because I'm not a government employee. I am just a student of MBA, which I can provide you business perspective. But what government is helping you with, I know they're doing a lots of work for the small industry sector, but in detail, you should probably go check on the websites.
And
Next,
then Diksha asks that how can we overcome the demerits and take the benefits of the merit points, which makes our business a success?
any there's no foolproof plan for success. Be it Ratan Tata, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, they also have incurred losses, right? So the best way to overcome demerits is like do not focus on them that much. Obviously, plan in advance and make sure that what you're doing is correct, because many times what happens when people do their business, they just start their business and like in the virtue of having earning profits and हम तो बहुत पैसे कमाएंगे ऐसा चलेगा वैसा चलेगा, they just start, but they do not consider other options. Like first do complete research, like in which market you want to do your business, to whom you want to cater your business, who will be interested in buying your products or services that you will provide. Do complete research. If you have a complete research, there are certain tools in the market to do these things. Like there's portfolio management, pestle tool. Then there's Potter's five forces analysis. Do these things analysis for getting information. If you have proper information, you can easily overcome these demerits.
Yes, exactly. And Ashutosh asks that what's the best way to fund a small business? Like, how can we fund it?
Best way to fund a small business is like just try as much as you can fund it by yourself. When you're funding by yourself, there's no liability upon you when you start earning profit, because when you start earning profits, you can use that money, you get that money back. But if you have taken that money from banks or lenders, you have to pay them first, which makes it difficult for the money to come into your pocket. It takes time, but funding by business from yourself is difficult. So best way to fund a business is having a mix of both. Try to fund by yourself, taking money from your family. That is a very big point. Like half of the business which have been started in India, the money comes from the family itself, as from your relatives, and also like banks and money's m- money from banks and taking loans from the investment companies is obviously there. So keep a mixed bag. And if you want to go for a public company, equity is there, but then it becomes a public company. It's not private. So yeah, I would say they be a mixed bag of both. Next question.
There's a very interesting question from Chilmala, if
Yeah.
I'm pronouncing the name right. That what's your advice to the freshers that should they join jobs or should they start their own small businesses?
That's a very nice question. Indeed, what my advice is like do whatever you want, do what your heart says you to do. If you're planning and if you want to start a small business, go ahead. Like speaking from my own experience in my college is a very huge support of the students who want to start their own businesses. They helped in financing. Like if you guys know about Panino, any chance, and there's so many businesses startups have been funded by the colleges. There are certain policies you can should go and check your college. Just do what you want. You can start by doing job also. That will help you in making finance, getting finance if you do job. But if you're crystal clear that that's what you want to do, this is what you want to do, you have your full proof plan ready, you have clear goal, then go for a business. I would say if that suffice your answer.
Yeah, great. Vidushi asks that how can we promote our small business while minimizing our cost?
In the latest recent times, there are many different business models which are emerging. One of which is social commerce. Social commerce is promoting your business on online social platforms like digital marketing, as you say. Best way is to like do social media marketing, open your Instagram account or pages on Facebook, Twitter. And second option is freemium model. You know freemium model like Ghana subscription, Spotify. If you know, they provide certain services for free and they charge certain money for some services they provide. So it's a freemium. Like they charge some premium plus they are giving something for free. These two are the booming models. If you want to start your business now in this age, this today's time, go for social commerce, promote your business on social, because as you know every big brands they are promoting their business through social influencers, if I may say so. Like you must have seen on these huge celebrities like Priyanka Chopra, Kareena Kapoor, they promote brands, but that they take huge sum of money obviously, but you can start it by your own. So that's a very great way to promote your business, market your business, and freemium model, I would say.
Yes, sir. Another interesting question asked by Upasna is like, as we know that it's a very competitive market, so how can we get an edge over the competitions in a micro business?
Very interesting question to pass now. Thank you for that question. See, when you start a business, look for competitors, what they are providing, what they have, and what you don't have. You have to make analysis. You have to use certain tools like this three circle analysis is a tool which we use in modern day business. You have to just make sure that you should know, you have to know what your competitors is providing, what they are having, what they have that you don't. Work on that. Make make sure that you're in par with them. If they're having an edge over you, work on that. And find, and the second part of this is find something that you have that they don't. I'm sure there will be something that you have but they don't. It will never happen that you don't have anything over them. Obviously you have to find that niche, cater to the niche, but push that niche forward. Obviously there will be certain something or the other which you have that they don't, and cater to that first, and after that when you have had a strong foothold on that small part, you can tackle your competitors with things that they don't, that they have and you also have. So focus on the niche that you have. That's the best way to tackle the competition. Any more
Uh,
questions?
it's a really insightful answer, sir. Another question, after reading such questions, I feel there are a lot of future entrepreneurs sitting here. Ashutosh asks that how can I promote my business? Should I burn cash for promotion or should I focus on building better products?
Don't burn your cash on marketing itself. First, build your company, build your products. If your products are nice, people will automatically come to you. If they like your services, their products, they will promote by themselves. Word of marketing, marketing by word, by mouth. It's very important. If don't focus on marketing your business. Always focus on getting better at your own job, because if you're better, people will come naturally, organically to you. So I would say don't burn your money on marketing right now. Use that money on making your business better. And yes, you can market, you can use some of it on marketing initially, but after a point, try making your business better than marketing.
Great. So Kamal Joshi asks that some tips to reduce failure.
Tips to reduce failures. That's a very common question that people want to know. There's no tips, as in like either you can have financial losses, or like you will have losses of not getting your what you wanted. So if you're only doing this business for getting profits, then I would say ensure your business, and it all comes to down to planning. How good have you planned out? How well you have chalked out everything, and do research, take information, take knowledge from others, see what's happening in the current scenario market, because there's no fixed formula for getting out of this risk, because has ever nobody can say that मैंने आज तक कभी मेरे बिजनेस में कोई लॉस नहीं देखा है. ऐसा होता ही नहीं. There's no possible. Just plan and plan. That's the best thing to do. And what I would say
Exactly,
next.
sir. So, like when we talk about businesses, economics plays a major role too. So, Snehal asked that how to increase production possibility in small scale business, especially in rural areas. So, she's talking about the production possibility aspects.
See, to increase production, first make sure that where you're producing, you have all the raw material. It happens many times that people go to rural areas for production because there are cheaper cost of labor available, cheap way of infrastructure and rent as compared to big metro cities. Yes, that's a great point. But when you go there, and it is difficult to get the raw material, and many of them there are no basic amenities, because in rural areas there's load shedding, no light facilities, no water facilities, which are mostly needed for production and many things. Infrastructure is not good. So my advice for making huge production would be getting raw material first, cheap raw material. You can, if you do research, you will get your raw material very nicely and easily. But it's just that you need to produce where there is availability of raw material and at a cheaper rate. Having cutting costs is very easily done in small businesses where labor is cheap, and because of cheap labor, they save a lot of money. I've seen it on my first hand from my own eyes. So yeah, cheap labor and produce where there's availability of raw material easily.
So, we have a question on human resources. Like we always say that human resource is the biggest asset any company has. So, Kushi asks that what qualities do you look for in your new employees?
It depends on person to person, owner to owner. When I can talk about myself, a good employee is that who works for the company and not just for himself. Like if they have a common goal of making profits for the company, and like to make betterment for the company, at the same time they will get better, they will develop themselves. So as all the people say, like there should be a common goal of interest of organization and employee, like it's give and take. If employees are good, then organization should be good to them. So I don't feel like there's no good employee. As a Microsoft owner, Bill Gates says that he said in an interview that if given a choice, I would between a very hardworking employee and a very lazy, lethargic employee, I would choose the lethargic employee to delegate the task. And people were shocked. He said, "Why?" because the lazy employee will find a very smooth and very easy way to complete the task in very less amount of time rather than the hardworking one. So I would say no employee is a bad employee. You just need to have a common shared goal for betterment of each other. That's my answer.
Very true, very true. So another question is how to become a brand starting from a small business.
Building a brand is basically getting your products and services better. Haldi, if you know Big Bazaar, then Samsung, when they started, nobody like why would they buy a phone from Samsung when it was newly launched? They serve their customer, they prove their merit, and slowly by slowly, steadily, they became what they are today. So building a brand is just doing your work diligently and going forward and forward. It will eventually happen. Just work on your business. That's the core of making brand. But there's also brandology and huge, large sum of study if you want to do. It takes a huge. There's brand managers. There's branding experts in the market and whatnot. But the core of it is getting better at your business.
Great. Now the next question is like we know there's a very competitive market. So Satakshi asks, how do I set price levels?
Price, it's yeah, it's very nice question. Price, yeah, yeah, it is very important also. There are two kinds of methods by which you can set your prices. Taking example of Samsung only, yeah, you all know the prices of Samsung phone are cheaper than the prices of Apple. It's quite clear that Apple sells phone which are very high in rate, but they sell to a very limited, a very niche amount of people, and they generate the profit from there. But Samsung have the prices low, and a lot of people buy that. Like 95% people have Samsung phone, only 5% people have phone of Apple. Right? That's so while setting prices, you can choose either you can price high but cater to very small section who are affordable and are willing to buy that product. But at the same time, your product should be as of that capability also. Apple, when we talk about Apple, you just buy, don't go for इसमें अच्छा है क्या product, इसके features कैसे, इसकी guarantee. No, they just buy the name of Apple, and your when your prices are low, see what your competition, what's the market price. In the initial starting phase, you can keep your prices low to attract more consumers to your business. But as you grow, your sales revenue grows, you can keep your at the market rates. So I would say that the thing, that's the my answer.
Okay, so the next question is from your personal experience, not from the topic basically. Diksha asks, is it possible to do MBA without going to a business school?
No, no. Business school is they only provide MBA. You can, yes, you can do MBA from correspondence, from online distance learning, but again you have to enroll in a business school for that. That's not possible.
Yes, exactly. But if you have to be a business owner, you necessarily do not
No,
have to do MBA.
yeah, yeah, no, no.
That's
That's
more
what
than
you're
enough.
asking. No, that's not necessary.
Okay, so the next question, what Tisha asks, that what books should every business owner read? Any book suggestions?
There are many books in the market. It is what it's important is what you take from those books. Like personally, I like one book written by Ratan Tata and the autobiography of Steve Jobs. Those books are my favorite. They inspired me. And there are a lot of books on money making and marketing and share marketing on and how to build your business, and like there's plethora of books on in the market. So I would say like autobiography of Steve Jobs is my favorite. So that
Great. So coming towards the last question that Ritik asks, what legal aspects do I need to consider?
For that's a beauty of a small business. For because small business, when you talk about specific small business, there are many laws necessitated for them. They don't have to show their books to the public. They don't have to publish their tax records. Obviously, basic tax laws and laws that they have to follow, but there's not much legal or being binding to them. They're free of these legal, as you said, laws. So it's just like follow company laws, the company laws or company law tribunal of India, which they have set for those guidelines, mainly for a small business analyst in the starting, and register your company. That's obviously very beneficial at the registrar's office of your company. So yeah, that's my answer.
Great, sir. Thank you for your insightful views.
Thank you.
And that unfortunately brings us to the end of the interesting session. On the behalf of Ashman Foundation, I would like to take the opportunity to thank our very knowledgeable guest, Mr. Anirudh Joshi, for sharing his valuable time and words with us. I also want to take the opportunity to thank VJ Aman ma'am for always supporting us and taking time out of her busy schedule to be with us here. At the end, I want to extend my thanks to the wonderful Ashman Foundation crew for working tirelessly behind the scenes to make this even possible. And obviously, the audience has been a great support. Being the best audience we could ask for, you have always been so cooperative and interactive, and it was really been a joy with you all guys. Like all good things, this should come to an end too. So good luck and good night. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.